All right, we're rolling. What's up, guys? This is Amish, APJ. I'm here with one of the guys I mentored and someone who's come a really long way in his trading career. I'm extremely proud of him and the work he's put in. Simon, I'll let you introduce yourself.
My name's Simon. I go by Oz Trades on YouTube and TikTok. Maybe you guys have seen me. But yeah, I'm officially a profitable day trader now, which is
incredible. He's done it at a scale and at a speed that I've never seen before. I mean, you've been trading for how long in total?
year and 3 months, 4 months now.
Are you comfortable with telling them what you ballpark have done in the last month?
In about the last month, I've made 5 figures, $10,000. So that.
And you're how old?
20. I'm still 20, I know, yeah.
But he's 20 years old, in college, getting a master's in business, I believe.
Finance.
In finance. And he is pulling in 5 figures a month as a trader. So he's handling a lot on his plate. And I just kind of want to highlight, this story, right? Because a lot of you guys are in a similar position. You're either in college or you're a young adult, wherever you are in life. But it's possible, right? And it's easy to hear a lot of these gurus and people kind of on the other side who've been profitable for years talking about it. But as someone who has been through the grind, who's seen the success, Simon is a powerful testimonial.
Yeah, and everything that I've done and worked for, it's because of this guy. This guy put the path, the most easiest path for me to walk on. Every mistake he made, every challenge he went through, and I went through too, he just basically held my hand through the whole thing. And if it wasn't for this guy, I wouldn't have, I'd be profitable in 2 years, I put in a lot of work, but this guy, and Amish made it to where 2 years to basically a year, he made my progress so much more attainable and achievable.
Well, like you said, I think regardless, you would have been profitable.
Trading isn't for the weak. Trading is very hard. You are going to struggle and do not expect to make any money in the first months at all. But if you work hard and you're obsessed with it, you will make money. And I made money being a junior in college. I take 15 hours a semester. I have 5 classes in total. I have class every day. And I still day trade and I still make the money while being able to go to class. Yeah. And I think if I can do it, then anyone can do it. 100%. 100%.
And it's so unique, right? Because trading can be very lonely, very individual and
it's difficult.
Lonesome process, right? That requires a lot of self-introspection, right? I think it's safe to say we've gotten to know ourselves more than we've ever known through trading, right? What triggers our emotional, tilt? When are we at our best mind state? And trading is something that, you can go fast alone, but you can go far together. And I think just building off of each other, hey, this is what's worked for me, this is what's worked for you, how can we mesh these, how can we move forward together, how can we avoid making each other's mistakes, right? And what's the best way to go about it? Because as traders, people come into this not knowing, hey, what prop firm do I use, what strategy do I use, do I scalp, do I hold my trades, what can I expect, right? And it's hard to know who to trust, what to trust, and how to go about it. So, I was fortunate to have met people along the way and learned properly, right? Now, there's a lot of times I took 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and it just felt like anytime I made some sort of progress, there was regression in my trading where I was just self-sabotaging. But Simon has been extremely unique in that I haven't seen much self-sabotage. He doesn't tilt, I think I've had more blow-up days in the last year than he has.
Yeah.
So you guys probably know my story. Simon, let's talk about you and just why do you think trading clicked for you? What got you into trading? Why did you initially connect with me? What drew you, to what I had to offer, and why do you think it worked so well for you?
Okay, well let's start from the beginning.
Let's do it. I'm gonna make sure we're rolling. Can you imagine if we're not recording? Yeah, we're good. Let's start from the beginning.
All right, let's start from the beginning. I grew up in a small town called Texarkana. Unfortunately, my father passed away. He made a lot of money. And my family was very well off. Completely flipped the switch. Went from literally riches to rags, basically. The other way around. And moved to San Antonio. Just grew up super. My mom was single, 3 kids. We weren't poor, but we weren't, barely middle class. Like we were just surviving. But anyways, grew up, always knew I wanted to make money and not have to work a job. I hated the idea of a job. And you're probably like, why are you in college then? Because my mom wanted me to go to college. And I worked I worked really hard in high school. So I was like,
I remember. We went to high school together.
Oh,
This guy was smart. He was smart. That's what I knew about Simon early on.
Yeah.
6 years ago.
Yeah. So I remember also you in high school, you were like tiny little guy.
I was a small.
I
was a late bloomer.
was taller than him in high school.
I was a late bloomer.
I remember, and now you're what, 6'1", I'm 5'10" or something like that. Yeah. But I remember seeing him, and then this guy disappeared off the face of the earth. Made his own, started his own business, did his own thing. But went through high school, decided to go to A&M. I go to College Station, A&M, Texas University. I studied finance there, which is great. It's cool, but very interesting, and I'm honestly learning about life and just finances as well in general. But
good life experience.
I was back home freshman year summer.
So it's 2025 we're recording this. This was 2024.
Yeah.
Summer is when we really started talking last year.
I went up to this guy at the gym. I said, or I think we just started talking or something.
I think you bumped into Colin.
Yeah.
You were asking him.
Yeah. And then I asked one of his friends or something, give me that guy's number. I heard he day trades. I saw something. No, I think I bumped into you. We said hey or something.
Yeah.
And I said, where do you go to school? And you said, no, I go to school.
That's right now.
So I'm sitting there like 19, I think 18, 19 years old. This guy's basically my age. And he goes, nah, bro, I just day trade. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And I thought it was crazy. I thought this guy was crazy at first. And I was like, this guy's, he's broke as fuck.
Yeah.
I was like, there's no way this guy makes money. Whatever, down the line. And then I think maybe a couple weeks passed, and I was like, nah, this guy's probably not bullshitting. Let me talk to his friend. I got your number through Colin.
Yeah.
And I texted him. I said, hey, can this guy help me out? Can this guy get me started? Because when you first start day trading, you know nothing. You have no idea where to start, no idea where to look, you don't even know what trading view looks like. You open it up and it's like a aerospace. Yeah. It's like you're looking at a panel full of buttons, right? But regardless,
it's a whole new world. Like trading,
different language.
Yeah.
So I did that, texted him. This guy sent me the ICT 2022 playlist.
Yep. That's always been my go-to because I rewatched that series. If you guys don't know, the series is 40 hours long, right? 41 episodes, each is about an hour.
Yeah.
Really long, really intense, and it's hard to get through. So I always just refer people to that because that's what helped me the most, and that kind of tells you if someone's serious.
If someone's serious, there you go. Yes, I
This
told
guy-
all my friends.
yeah.
I told all my friends, they're like, "Yo, bro, why did Anish help you? Why this?" And I'm like, "Dude, I think it's just because I finished the playlist."
The only guy I know. The amount of people that approach me.
Same.
Say,
Already.
yeah.
Never finish it.
Hey, you trade? Oh, can you teach me, bro?
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, here. I'm always cool. I'm like, yeah, here, take my video, whatever. But anyways, watched all of it. I said, finished it, and then I'm pretty sure he goes, watch it again.
Yeah.
You were like, keep reviewing to it, keep watching it again, whatever. I keep going, and I asked this guy questions the whole process, how to do this, how to do that. But that's the beginning of the trading journey. But now I'm a junior in college. It's been a year. That was about summer of my freshman year, so I was already a sophomore basically, and now I'm like in the middle of junior year. So it's been around a year and 4 months since I started trading, and it's terrible. I hate trading. It's great, but it is the biggest mental brain, and it's the hardest thing you'll ever do in your life. But it's worth it. I mean, you learn from someone, you gain the knowledge, and you make it your own basically, and then you start making money.
And trading is so unique, right? Like Simon said, it is a really hard skill to not master, but to see profitability with, because there's so many traits about trading that require instinctual rewiring, right? Like fear of missing out.
Yeah.
Being able to accept losses, right? Trading is one of the only businesses where you have to factor in expected losses. We don't have a cost of goods. We're not buying and selling products.
Yeah.
So our business expenses come in the form of typically losses, right? Good losers. So there's just so much rewiring. And I don't know if you had this misconception, but 4 years ago, I told myself, let me sit down and learn trading. Let me make 10 grand in a month, and let me go about my business. That took me 2+ years, okay, to get to that point. And Simon has done that much quicker than I have, in that same amount of time. But it's there's a lot to navigate in the world of trading, and I gravitated to scalping right over time because of the optimization of it. Right, if most people are losing their trades and most people can't be profitable over a long time horizon, what do we need to do opposite to them, right? So scalping has worked really well for me, right? My trades last 30 seconds to a few minutes at the most. Why do you think it works so well, and why, do we see green day after day, or at least week after week, whereas most people, they'll bag
Struggling to even take a trade,
struggling to take a trade, right? Or they'll take, these phenomenal 5 risk reward trades and then lose it all, right? Why does scalping work for us, and why don't most people do it?
Okay, the first thing, I think scalping is amazing, but I think it's definitely harder than normal day trading. You see, I always talk about them, but PB trading, all these MEC models, love everything they do, but scalping is harder in my opinion, but it's so much better. It's a harder skill with trading, but it is so. I mean, dude, I think my win rate is 80 or something. I have a very consistent win rate with my trading,
and you have great risk reward.
I do, yeah.
I will take trades that are 0.7, 0.8 risk reward.
I'm always 1 or 1 above usually.
A positive win rate, so 1.2 is probably your average. With an 80% win rate is phenomenal, right? But I don't mean to interrupt.
No, scalping. That's the thing too, is nobody scalps. When I first started trading, I remember when he was teaching me everything. When I was his a mentee, when we were fully doing our mentorship, and I was like, I'm all in, let's do it. I was like, dude, this scalping shit sucks. I was like, this is hard. I was like, this is like really difficult to understand because scalping stop placement is so much more. I have a buddy who trades like PB in the MEC model way.
And the MEC model is
it's basically targeting a 5-minute or unfilled gap.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're rejecting off something like liquidity sweep, buy side, sell side, targeting a 5-minute, targeting a 15-minute, targeting some, which is like, we target that too. They just call it a MEC model, which I think is cool, MEC model, whatever. But I think scalping is super difficult, but I think when you, not master it, but when you just know how to scalp and master it, dude, it is so green. It's, you know how many days I've had where like my TP has been hit in under 30 seconds, a minute, and I'm chilling, and then I call it, and one of my buddies who trades like MEC model, or like those longer, trade micros, he'll be looking for a trade, struggling, and I catch a trade every day. At least one. Most of the time, not today, but it's always like one trade a day, 1 to 2 trades for me, but with the way we trade, there is always a setup, which is why I love scalping too.
I think you hit the
always
hammer on the head there. That's it. With scalping, it's a lot easier to not have FOMO because we do wake up every day and we know, we're taking entries on the 30-second or the 1 minute. That's the model I teach. There's 120 30-second candles in an hour. There are going to be multiple inversions, right? And there's going to be a few, if not at least one A+ setup there. So I wake up, I approach the market, I know a setup's coming. My job is just to be patient, right? And Simon is a great example. He's even more patient than I am, and he will just strike. I think too many people, if they're not doing swing trading, if they're trying to scalp, they just come in like a machine gunner and they're trying to shoot every bullet and just catch every entry, right? Whereas you need to still be, you need to exercise that discretion. You need to still have that higher time frame analysis, and then be like a sniper. When everything lines up, you strike.
Execute.
Right? When you have that much confluence, when you have the 4-hour lining up with the hourly, lining up with the 15 and the 5, and all of these time frames are there, and then you have that surgical precision on your entry, that's when you can really procure an 80, 90% win rate. Right? It's not impossible. People think that sounds too good to be true. It's not impossible, it's just hard to maintain. And through repetition, the hardest part, I'm going on a bit of a tangent, but the hardest part is, that first year or so of trading when you are unprofitable, right? And you are still waking up pre-market, you're doing your analysis. You're still having to be patient. You're still having to review in the evenings. That's the hard part. But through that constant repetition, that's where we see progress.
Yeah. In general, scalping is just not for the weak, bro. It's not for the weak.
I agree.
But if you can, if you really put the time in, and to even be a successful day trader, you have to put the time in. So you might as well choose the correct and best strategy. And also, I've only traded one strategy. It's been this. I know people that have hopped around so many strategies, hopped to so many different things. If you just stay to one strategy, stick to one concept, you have to be successful. It's like you're Steph Curry, bro. Like, he shoots so many threes, of course he's gonna be good at shooting threes.
Right. That's what he's known for.
Yeah, you get so consistent with one strategy, and no strategy is obviously perfect, but like, everyone loses in trading.
Yeah.
Everyone loses in trading, but if you can master or get as good as you possibly can at one strategy, like, I don't even know how to trade any other strategy.
Right.
All I know is inverse fair value gaps, scalping.
Fortunately, I didn't mislead you.
Right.
Like, this one strategy that he does know,
Yeah.
it is successful, right?
Yeah.
But I came from that poor example of strategy hopping, of testing out the newest indicator, chasing new indicators, Discord hopping.
Yeah.
I lost a lot of money doing that. I lost a lot of time, right? So my entire goal has always been, if I'm going to lead someone, if I'm going to cheat someone, do it properly. Sometimes simplicity is the best policy, because when you don't have different strategies to worry about, when you're not trying to blend a bunch of strategies, there's no analysis paralysis there. It's, you understand this and you understand it fundamentally, right? We're not relying, our charts have no indicators. They're very simple, they're naked, right? All we're doing is looking at liquidity, imbalances, and inversions. And that's that's the basis of our trading, right? Because we understand it fundamentally. If the market is gonna sweep a high or a low, and the context is there for a reversal, it makes sense. And that resonates with us. Too many people are, they think more is more. No, less is really more. That's not to discredit any other strategy, any other entry model.
If it works, it works, but...
Yeah, right. And there's,
if it works, it works.
There's plenty of successful traders with indicators. There's plenty of successful traders, with a really complex strategy. There's nothing wrong with that. It's also about what resonates with our personality, right? We do have that ability to exercise discretion and scalp, right? And just be patient in the market. So I think that's why it's worked.
100%.
Right. Let me ask you this, what has been different now that you are a hyper profit? I mean,
Yeah, I made a good amount of money in a short time. This is like basically my first time making real money from trading, and it was like, boop, like, from someone who is a college kid who's 20, I've worked a server job, I've worked being a host, I've made $2,000 in a month, I've made 1.5K from your paycheck from your, whatever wage job, and seeing, 10K in the matter of, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, it's like, wow, it just is a different perspective. So.
What is different now that you are profitable compared to when you were, like most people out there, still a struggling, unprofitable trader? What were you expecting? How are things different? And, was it easier? Was it harder than you thought?
Nothing's different, but everything's different.
Yeah, right. I know
exactly. That's kind of what I mean.
You're still in the process. Like, you're still waking up and grinding. It's
it's not like I made 10 bands and I'm gonna go F off, go do nothing. But it's really the fact that you just have that slight confidence boost in the sense that all the hard work, all the hours, and I mean hours, I think the whole year in 3 months I've been trading, I've maybe missed like 2 sessions.
Yeah.
Two mornings where I didn't wake up, didn't whatever. Something happened, and that's like every day, Monday through Friday, waking up, trading, this, that. But in my opinion, if you want it as bad as you put in the work for it, nothing really changes. All that changes is that the tunnel you were running down with the light at the end, you finally see the light. You're finally like, you know what I'm saying? You're finally hitting it to where it's like, oh shit, like this is working. Like this is actually, and it's a crazy feeling though. Like when you first make your money off literally just doing, not nothing, but when you don't have to work a job and you're finally making more money than like, the fact that I could tell my mom that I made more money than her this month, it's like, wow, like, and she's like, damn, you didn't even work a job. She's like, I had to clock in, you didn't have to clock in. And it's a perspective shift, but for me, it's just, I'm hungry. I'm not greedy, but the fact that I work so hard for this, I'm gonna make more money for sure.
I think that's the common trait with anyone who achieves anything great, is that process orientation. He didn't say, let me just make my first 5-10 grand and, just like you said, F off. It's more about falling in love with that process, showing up and still, Simon has a really powerful why as to why he works hard and does all of this stuff. And when your why is that powerful, right? When your why is strong enough to wake you up on those days where you don't have results, when it feels like, it's raining and it's just pouring in your life, still getting up to, persevere through all of that. When you have that process, the outcome falls into place. But if you're just trading for the sake of, hey, I want to go to the club, or there's nothing wrong with wanting a new car, wanting a new place to live, but if your why isn't deep enough, you will break, right? It like you said, it's different, but it's not different in the sense that we still have our struggles.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I still, you still feel those emotional urges, to overtrade or to not stick to your maximum loss or to be greedy. Maybe you're up $800, you just need $1,000 for a payout.
Yeah.
This has happened to me, over and over. Fortunately, I try to limit it, but sometimes those human emotions just take over. So there's never this, I'm profitable, now I can relax. Every day in the market, you are your biggest threat, right? We have to remind ourselves what the threat is and how quickly things can go south. So I'm excited for you, man. I am really excited to see where you go, and I hope it just goes through the roof.
I think it's going to be good. I think I'll definitely make more money for sure.
Oh, I know.
And but I think the best thing to really point on is the fact that you need to find, with trading, you need to find what, I think you talked about a little bit, what fits your personality, what fits you. And I think the moment you can give everything you have to one strategy, to one way of trading. Yeah. And especially, and I want to point out, bro, like I said, I've met nobody else that trades the way I do. Yeah. I run into the TJRs, the MEC model, the PB, which is all great, they all trade good. But I think people are so closed off to scalping, and I think people should, you're teaching a strategy that is like, I think, dude, this is sick. Yeah. And it's because nobody does it too. Yeah. It's not like, oh, I do this, y'all don't do this, but it's so cool that you basically formulated a strategy that I've never seen anyone really do in this scalping sense. People scalp, obviously, especially a lot of order flow, but I don't know order flow. Whatever, but using ICT, smart money concepts, this way, I've never seen it ever done. You have PB, you have TJR, using all the ICT, same shit. But I think this is just, it's what resonates much with me, and I think I love this strategy so much. That's why I was able to also continue, because I actually, I enjoy working. Yeah. I enjoy getting better. I enjoy, Amish isn't the most amazing day trader. We all make mistakes, and neither am I, but the fact that he formulated his own strategy, his own way to trade, and is profitable and consistent, and helping other people make money, like me and everyone else in the Discord, but it's just super cool to me that I found something that I actually liked, and I think fits me, honestly, too. Because I don't like being in the market for that long. Shit, I'm a scalper. I take one trade sometimes, and I do not.
Again, it comes down to the fact that the market is not designed to make people money. Exactly. As retail traders, as people who trade, on their own terms, we are not supposed to be able to just pull money out of the market like an ATM, right? So my entire perspective has always been optimization, right? Being risk off until everything aligns, striking and getting out. Get your money, get out. Like Simon said, I'm not a perfect trader, but I don't seek to be, to hold that title and to try to have the most perfect trades. I'm here to make money. I'm here to help other people make money. And, the way we do that is what's worked, right? And find someone that you trust, right? Find someone you really trust to learn from, and, stick with it, because in the beginning it is hard. It feels like it's all intangible, but eventually it will pay off if you fall in love with the process, and you'll have real results. It's just about, it's hard to put your trust into something you can't touch, right? But if you find a strategy, you believe in it, and like Simon said, it resonates with you, stick with it. Don't continue strategy hopping. Most of the time, the problem is in here, and it's not on the charts. 100%.
I think I could have been profitable by a year. Yeah. I just didn't. I was just rushing things, stupid mistakes, and now I'm the happiest I've ever been with my trading. I'm so cool with, taking no trades if I really need to or whatever. Which I don't. I usually take a trade a day. I usually 1 to 2 trades a day. But
we're recording this Thanksgiving week, by the way. Today was the last full day of the month for trading, so a little different.
And I'm back in college, so
that's right.
But I think once you hit that point where you start making every profitable, look at TGR, look at all these big guys. They lose, they don't make money every single day, but when you just master a skill and it's this free, not free, but it's you put in work and you get good at it, but when you master something and you don't have to learn anymore and you just execute, it's like, bro, like, it's just free bread.
No one can ever take this skill away from us.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Prop firms how they are now too.
Yeah. The business has been more democratized than it's ever been, right? There's new firms and they're competing with each other. They're making it better for us as traders, right?
It's not just about us traders too. Now they're like, they're battling each other.
Yeah.
So they're trying to make the most money they can too. So that's how you know they're trying to weed everyone, weed all the other companies out and make them. That's so. I think prop firms are going to be around for a good amount of time.
Yeah,
a long time.
We're going to continue making money from them in the meantime.
100%. And if you're a new trader, if you're just starting to, it's probably the best time because there's so many new traders. Even when I started like a year and a half ago, not that many traders, but honestly, in the past like 6 months, I think I've ran into more people talking about NQ and day trading.
We were at the gym, a few months ago in the summer. Someone was talking about NQ or I have an account with top 7.
I was like, jeez.
Yeah, it's changed a lot.
And it's weird.
But I'm excited that we're here to keep killing it, guys. Simon, I appreciate you, man. Congratulations.
Yeah.
This is just the beginning. I mean, we have our lives ahead of us, right? And I'm excited to see where you take it in life.
We're gonna make some more money and enjoy it.
Pleasure, bro. Good stuff. That was fire.
Green.
Really good.
That was good points. That was a great video.
Perfect.